Hey guys, RMA Arms here. Today we're gonna do a test of 3 pump 12 gauge shotguns. We got 3 really popular, really cool guns to shoot and test today. We're gonna put them to the test, shoot them back to back, shoot some different rounds through them, see which one we like the best, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are shopping for a home defense shotgun, or maybe something to go hunting with, or maybe just something fun to shoot. So I've got the Remington 870.
This is the Benelli Nova.
This is the Mossberg 500. We're gonna put them to the test and let you guys know which one's best. All right, let's get at it. Okay guys, so what we're talking about today is we have the 12 gauge pump shotgun Shootout. Okay, we have the Mossberg 500, the Remington 870, and the Benelli Nova. 3 awesome shotguns, 3 really good manufacturers, 3 really good brands. We're gonna kind of nitpick and see which one's the best. Let's start off with use. A lot of people use these for home defense, and for really good reason, because my goodness, does a 12 gauge pack a punch. You get behind one of these things shooting slugs or shooting buckshot, they will do the job, especially if you have one with a longer capacity. Also for hunting, that's what's cool about the 12 gauge, is that there's so many different types of ammo that you can put in these. You can tailor it to whatever you're hunting. And then the last one would be fun. Dude, you can buy a box of shells for pretty cheap, and you can go ahead and have some really good fun blowing some stuff up, like some 2 liters you'll see in the video. I would not recommend these for concealed carry. Just kidding. But they actually might be a really good truck gun if you want to keep something in the truck. Also, for you survivalists, this is a fantastic option for a bug out or a survival situation, because you can protect yourself with them, you can gather food with them. There's so many different things you can do with them. So that's what I would use these things for. All right, when we're talking about price, we've got the Benelli Nova. That is coming in at $424 at our local gun store. And then we move to the 870. This is gonna run about $367 in this tactical express form. And then we have the Mossberg 500, which is going to be about $337 in this form. And all of these have different variants that you can get. You can get this in camo, you can get this in a hunting version, tactical, slug gun. Same thing with the Mossberg 500. There's so many different variants out there, but I'm just trying to give you an idea of what these things cost. All of them can actually be found for right around the same price as a Nagant revolver these days, which is pretty interesting. Okay, let's talk about the ergonomics of these things, because honestly, these are all 3 such great guns that it's going to come down to some nitpicking of what I do like and what I don't like on all of these. So let's just start with the Benelli. This little feature right here. So you hold that button and pump it, and what it does is it clears the chamber without loading one from the tube, from the magazine tube. So you could clear your shotgun very easily that way. I think that is an awesome feature on the Benelli. I wish all these shotguns had that. Here's what I don't like. The safety in the, I don't know what it's technically called, but we're gonna call it a slide release. I don't really like the placement of it, okay? Because when your hand's right here around in the trigger guard, you kinda gotta move your hand up to hit that to be able to cycle this shotgun. Where the safety is and where the slide release is not my favorite on the Benelli. Like I said, we're getting down to nitpicking because we kind of have to separate these. Now let's look at the Remington 870. So as you can see, the slide release is right here. So same thing, if you got your hand on the, like you're about to shoot it, I don't like how you have to kind of release that, or like release your grip to go up and grab that to move the slide back. Okay, where the safety is okay. It's not that great, but you hit it with your thumb over here. Not my favorite setup. Probably my least favorite controls or ergonomics out of all of them, simply because where this slide release is, okay? And then now let's get down to the Mossberg 500, which in my opinion is the best when it comes to ergonomics. So here's what I love about the Mossberg. Okay, one, you have an ambidextrous safety. It's right here on the top of the gun, and it can be accessed from either way, right? And then the slide release is right here, okay? Right here underneath your trigger. So let's say you've got a grip on this, like you're getting ready to shoot or trying to sight it. You could actually hit that with your middle finger here. I'm not trying to flick you guys off. Sorry, Mom. So you kind of get your middle finger up here underneath the trigger guard, and you can move that action, about that action, boss. So because of where the safety is and where the slide release is, this is my favorite setup when we're talking about ergonomics and controls. That's a huge plus to me. All 3 of these are great guns, but to me that kind of separates the Mossberg from the other 2. Not that the other 2 are that bad. Honestly, if you go into the gun store, I would really recommend picking up and playing with all these before you make a purchase, because you might feel differently, but to me, that kind of makes the Mossberg stand out. Okay, we're going to talk about accessories and customization. The Mossberg 500 and the Remington 870, they have sold so many millions of these. You can take this receiver and you can turn it into anything you want to do with it. You can change the barrel, you can change the magazine tube, you can change the trigger, you can change the stocks, you can, Magpul makes a whole kit for both of these. Like, there's so many different things you can do. The 500 and the 870, it's a win. Okay, it is a win in this category for both of these guys. Not as many as the Nova here. There are definitely some accessories out there. There's definitely some things you can do with it to customize it or change a thing here or there. I'm not going to say that there's not, because this is another great selling shotgun, but not as many as the 870 and the 500. These are just like staples in American shotguns. So like, there's so many different things you could do to them. It's a win for these guys. Okay, reliability. There's 3 things you can count on in this world, okay? You can count on death, you can count on taxes, and you can count on a 12 gauge pump shotgun. You know, it's just such a simple design. It's such a great design. That's why almost everybody has one. That's why they're so recommended. They're so reliable. The 500 and the 870 are awesome. Never had a single hang up with this 870 that I have in front of you. Same thing with the 500. The guy at RMA Arms that owns this, I don't think he's ever cleaned this. Okay, and he's had it for over 10 years, and it works phenomenal. It's funny because all 12 gauge pumps, I feel like the more you use them, the better they are. That's just kind of my opinion, but that just seems to be what happens. The Benelli. Now, in our testing, we had no problems with the Benelli. Let me say that again. We had no problems with the Benelli in our testing. But I have seen a few times where people have used the Benelli and there's been a few feeding issues. Okay, I don't think it's that big of a deal, because like I said, my personal experience with this 12 gauge Benelli Nova in front of me has been flawless. So I can't really give it, you know, I can't really say anything bad about it. Like, let's just say that these score a A+. This scores an A. All right, so let's wrap this up. Let's kind of give you our overall pick and our opinion here at RMA Arms. I had a lunch today with the other guys here, and we kind of talked about which one was going to win this competition here between these 12 gauges. This is between 3 people kind of giving their opinions. It's almost like you wouldn't know which one you were shooting if you didn't see it, you pick it up, if that makes any sense. They're all 3 fantastic. Honestly, I would be happy with any of them. I'm not just saying that. Like, if these things were garbage, we would tell you, but it's a 12 gauge pump. They're reliable. They're good guns. In our opinion, here's how we would kind of pick. I would pick Nova probably 3rd. Some of the guys said 2nd, and it's kind of hard to, you know, debate that. I would say this got number 3, simply because it's a little bit more expensive. If you pick this thing up and you really love the way it feels and the way the controls are, go for it. Absolutely go for it. I would have no problem recommending you to a Benelli Nova. Benelli makes a great gun. And I would just say at the price point, I don't really see what extra you're getting from the other 2. So number 3 is going to be the Benelli Nova. Number 2 is going to be the Remington 870. What it came down between the Mossberg 500 and the Remington 870 was my opinion on the controls. I don't really like how the safety and the slide release is compared to the Mossberg. So if you go check one of these out, maybe you can get a good deal on one. Maybe you really like the controls. Maybe you really like the way it looks. Maybe you've been a Remington guy since your whole life. Your dad had one, whatever it might be. Then buy the Remington, because like I said, these things are rock solid. I mean, the military uses this and the Mossberg 500. That kind of should tell you how reliable these things are and how good they are. So really can't go wrong with the Remington. But for me and the other guys here at RMA Arms, we unanimously picked the Mossberg 500. It's because of the controls. It's from the slide release and the safety being ambidextrous. And also, I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but the way that this Mossberg 500, you load shells into it, was the easiest, the simplest, and had the less hang-ups of the Remington and the Benelli. Maybe on a different model it might be different, but I really love this. And I love how if you were going to do like a 3-gun or something, I don't know, whatever, you wouldn't have to shave anything down. You gotta touch anything because nothing's really in your way. You can just slide the shells right in there. So For those reasons, I mean, the price is phenomenal. These things are dirt cheap and they're super reliable. If I was gonna go buy a 12 gauge today, I would go buy a Mossberg 500. So there you go, guys. That is the winner of our shotgun shootout. I hope you enjoyed the video. It was a lot of fun. Before you leave, send us a comment if you have any questions on any of these guns. We'll try to stick around for a few days and answer those. Also, if you have an opinion on one of those guns, we'd love to hear it. And if you have a gun that you would like us to review here at RMA Arms, we are definitely open to some suggestions of what to review next. So send us your suggestions. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel because we're going to have some really good videos coming up in the future. And like and share this video. So thanks, guys. Have a great one. See you soon.